And in this next fight, we have a short notice fight between Joanderson Brito and Lucas Alexander. Joanderson Brito is going to be welcoming Lucas Alexander to the UFC. This is going to be his UFC debut. And originally, Brito, he was going to fight Melsik Bagdasaryan, which was going to be a great fight. Both those guys are really explosive guys, and Bagdasaryan is a high-level striker. But now Bagdasaryan is out, and we see Brito fighting Lucas Alexander. And Joanderson Brito, 2 UFC fights so far. His first UFC fight, he fought Bill Algeo. It was a back-and-forth fight, but he lost that fight by decision. He kind of got himself tired going for takedowns wrestling, and he wasn't able to control Bill Algeo, who's really, really good at scrambling back to his feet after he's taken down. And Brito ended up losing in the striking in the later rounds, but he came back with a vengeance. He came in against Andre Fili, knocked him out in under a minute, and that was a huge win. I mean, Andre Fili's a guy that just came back, looked good again in his last fight, and has been around the UFC for a long time. So Brito was able to get a big-time victory, and you'd think he would have got a better opponent in this one, and Bagdasaryan would have been a pretty good opponent, but he's going to get a dangerous guy, and Lucas Alexander, who's on a 5-fight winning streak, good Muay Thai striker, but not really much of a name. And for Lucas Alexander, he trained out of Fusion XL, and most of the time when you see Fusion XL guys, they're more grappling-based fighters. You see guys like Jacare at that gym, another guy at that gym is Rodolfo Vieira, so they have some really high-level grapplers at that gym, but Lucas Alexander doesn't really have that grappling acumen from what I've seen. It seems like he's gotten better with his submission game off of his back and using submissions to work back to his feet. But he's a striker, and he likes to keep it on the feet and use his Muay Thai. He is a big guy for the weight. If you look at his last fight, he did miss weight. So I would be not surprised if he came in heavy for this fight either. But he is pretty tall, 5'11", and he likes to come forward. He's very fast. Throws real nice 3-2s, 2-3s. He'll end combinations with leg kicks. And early in the fight when he's fresh, he's pretty dangerous. He throws really quick with his hands. You'll throw flying knees as well. And he's throwing heavy, and he's throwing really, really fast strikes. But if you force him to grapple especially, but just in general, even if you don't force him to grapple, he does slow down. And early in the fight, you see it moving a lot more, feinting a lot more, being in and out. His strikes are coming a lot quicker. And then as the second round comes, the third round comes, he's more flat-footed. He's plodding forward. He's still trying to use that speed to counter, but he's not really as quick anymore, and he's much more hittable. He can be taken down, and that's a big issue with Lucas Alexander is his takedown defense. He has improved it a little bit, but he's still fairly easy to take down. And when you do take him down, he gives his back to stand up. Doesn't really have the greatest game on bottom. He will go for leg locks and some low percentage submissions that put him in some bad positions against superior grapplers. And he's fought a lot of lower level competition. So this is a big step up in competition for him. And he's an entertaining fighter to watch. He has a fun striking style, but I think he has a lot of holes in terms of cardio. I think that he's a hittable guy as well, and his grappling isn't really up to par. So if you compound all that with being on short notice, I think he's going to be in for a really rough fight against Joanderson Brito, who I think is a fringe top 15 fighter. Brito, he's a little bit shorter, more compact, but he has long arms, very explosive. He is super aggressive. He'll close the distance and has that shoot box style to heart, man. I mean, he takes it to heart. He'll come forward, throw big bombs, big overhands, and he can also wrestle pretty explosive doubles, get on top, control. And I think in this fight, Brito should wrestle right away, get a couple takedowns, make out Alexander tired, get that lactic acid in his legs and his arms, make him a little bit slower on the feet, and then you could beat him up and maybe even knock him out standing. And I think Brito is definitely the superior fighter in this matchup. When you look at Joanderson Brito, I think he, on the feet, might not be as technical, but I think he is able to keep his explosiveness, his power, his speed longer in the fight. So overall, I would say he's a better striker because he can keep those blitzes. He has a little bit better defense, and I think he has the power advantage as well. Alexander, he's going to have to find a big knee up the middle. He's going to have to land a big high kick or chop down with some really heavy leg kicks early. Do something that really damages Joanderson early or takes him out, or I think he's going to get taken down early. He's going to get tired, and then he's going to get finished either by knockout with a big overhand or taken down and submitted. So for me, I'm going to pick Joanderson Brito to win inside the distance in this fight. And I'll say he gets the first round submission either by rear naked choke or by guillotine.